Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Stateline Spotlight. I'm Colin Schindler with Remax Ignite, and today I am here with Rick Nelson of PremierBank. Rick and I go way back to me just
Yes, we
being
did.
a little guy, and now we get to work together in a professional sense. So that's really cool. I really appreciate you coming on here today, and I
Thank you for
appreciate
having me.
all the business
Look
that
forward
we've
to
done
it.
together.
Yes.
Not only how you've helped some of my people, but also how you've helped me tremendously as well. So, Rick, would you like to tell everybody what you do, how you do it, why you do it?
I do commercial lending for Premier Bank, and we do all kinds of commercial loans, business loans, farm credits, operating lines of credits. And what we're going to talk about a little later is how we can help somebody who's looking to buy some multifamily or single family rentals.
So, before we dive into that though, if it has to do with business, you can loan on it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. That's good to hear. And what we're going to talk about a little bit more, like Rick said, is investment properties. So 1 to 4 unit residential properties for investing in. It's something that I talk about a lot. It's something that I'm very interested in, and I want to help the consumer or those who are trying to get into that field as well. So let's talk about how that works on your end so
Sure.
that people have a better understanding of
Sure.
how lending for that might work.
And first of all, Premier Bank has a sincere interest in working with people who are looking to acquire rental properties. We look at it as individuals who are giving back to their community. They're reinvesting. And we feel by helping, we're reinvesting. But we do all types of loans to help people. Let me, if I could first tell my locations. If I
Absolutely,
could.
absolutely. Please do.
So Premier Bank is located along the corridor of Highway 26, and I'm in Janesville, and I'm right on Blackbridge Road, right off of Milton Avenue. But we have locations in Whitewater, Fort Atkinson, Johnson Creek, Jefferson, let me see if I get them all, and Sullivan. So I support the Rock County market, Beloit, Janesville, Milton, Edgerton, Orfordville, Clinton. We go into Darien, Delavan, Lake Geneva, and we also cross the border and go into Rockton and Roscoe.
Great, great.
So for the investment type of loans, we kind of have two key credits that we offer. First one is what we call a cash loan line of credit. How that is set up is the customer provides a mortgage on a property that they already own, and it generally has to be free and clear to be able to do it. And it's kind of like a HELOC, but in a business sense. And then they're able to tap into that money to use that to either buy property for cash purposes or do rehab. So it's strictly for buying residential rental properties.
Great.
The other one that you're familiar with is what we call our guidance line of credit. And that's a credit where the customer, the client is aware ahead of time what they're eligible for, what's available, what they're approved for. So they can go out and make an offer through Colin, and they know that they're ready to go as long as they meet the criteria that's approved as part of that guidance line. Criteria is mainly common sense information. They need to have the required down payment. We expect a first mortgage on the property. We want to have clear title to the property. We want to get copies of the leases, and we also want insurance on the property. So pretty straightforward.
And, it is very straightforward. We can't understate that. Not only is Rick an awesome guy to work with just because he's an awesome, cool dude to hang out with, the process that you guys have through Premier Bank for getting these properties is very simple and straightforward, which is really important in this fast-moving market. So it's been great to work with you, and it's been great to see how you've handled, not only my transactions but my clients as well.
And I like it to be as simple as possible because then it makes my life simpler too. If we're prepared ahead of time before the acquisition is entered into, it's a much simpler process.
So to get that process going, Rick, what would you need from a client or a consumer? What would they need to do?
Yes. So we do have a one-page little outline that we can hand out, email if somebody gets a hold of me. It's in English and Spanish, but it tells what items are needed. What is the financial package that we need to get? We need a personal financial statement, to because we looked at the person behind the deal to make sure that they have some strength to fall back on. We want to get copies of the existing leases on the property that they may be buying. And, if they're a corporation or an LLC, obviously we need to get articles of incorporation, operating agreements and such.
Yeah.
So we also ask for a detailed outline of your existing properties. So we want to know what the properties are, what they're worth, what you owe, what the monthly payments are, property taxes, and then what your rents are going to be. Because as you know, we like to use a projected cash flow analysis so that we can see what a whole year would look like under that scenario with that property. Where if you use your tax returns, a lot of times there's a timing issue. And you can buy a property in June, and you got the cost of the acquisition, the rehab, all on the tax return. You get 3 months of rent. It doesn't show profit. We look at it differently, so we can help make it happen.
Yeah, it's important. And Rick is in the business of making deals. PremierBank is in the business of making deals and doing it right to help set everybody up for success. So we're going to flash Rick's information on the screen right here now in case you want to get a hold of him for any commercial banking needs, whether it be for a combine or an investment property. And you can reach out to him or me directly to get started on that process. Thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me today,
Thank you.
Rick. It was
It's
a great
always a
pleasure. From growing up knowing you as a little guy to doing all the transactions that we do now, it's been
It's
a
great
lot of fun.
working with a young, talented professional, and it's kind of fun to, be able to look like I'm mentoring a little.
I appreciate that, and you most certainly have been. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. All right, guys, we will see you next time on the Stateline Spotlight.